Michael C. I'm a teacher, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a friend, I'm a husband, but most importantly, I'm a father. I created TheSkyBoxx in 2021 to show to you that being a rapper and a ball player isn't the only way they can provide opportunities for themselves. In Season 5 Rise Above, we're going to explore some special guest journeys and see how they rose above their circumstances and they just didn't become good, they became great. Welcome to Rise Above. In this episode, we have a discussion with teacher, educator, mentor, proud brother of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, Don Commodore. And we discuss his journey and what and how did he relate to students and his impact with the community through his fraternity and a lot more. Now let's see how he rises above and doesn't let his temporary setbacks become his permanent failures. Sit back and enjoy. Welcome to Rise Above, where we don't let our temporary setbacks become our permanent failure. It's me, Michael C., the source of life over the mic. Now, sit back and relax, y'all. I want to introduce you to somebody here. When it comes to this man, when it comes to the classroom, he brings energy like no other. When it comes to this man's school spirit, he brings it like no other. I've seen him at basketball games. I've seen him at football games. And he's the head wrestling coach at Harrisburg. When it comes down to this man's dedication to the community, to his school, and also to his students, it's unimaginable. I want to introduce you to someone. I want to introduce you to Dom Commodore. What's good with you guys?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
You already know what it is, bro. You already know what it is, man. What's good, man? Welcome to Rise Above,
Hey, man.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. You've been hitting me up for a while about this. You know,
Yeah.
you've been telling me a couple things like, yo, man, you got it on here, yo. When you gonna put me on?
Yeah, definitely.
And you're definitely, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You should have been on here a while ago. Should have got you on here a while ago, but you're here now, right?
That's right. All in time and good time.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it started.
Yes, sir. Let's
go. All right. When it comes down to it, I mean, like I said, you're a teacher. Where do you teach at?
I currently teach at Camp Curtin Academy in the Harrisburg School District.
There it is. Harrisburg, stand up. 717, stand up. Have you seen a drop in scores? Give me your opinion on why you're seeing the rise and the drop of just the scores around when it comes down to it.
I mean, testing scores there, it basically just depends on a lot of factors that go into it. Equity is one of the key pieces that a lot of people ignore. Yes, they have scores, and that's the result of the students, but there's a lot of factors that go into it. When I think about education as a whole, and even just the testing scores, I say equity because there's a lot of factors that go into it, like child's home life. What was it like, when they came and take the test?
Right.
A lot of times, did they eat properly when they came into school? These are things that we know.
Right.
And if you look at other surrounding areas, they might not face the same adversities that we might face.
Right.
But one study has shown that a lot of schools in the area, not just ours, but a lot of them in general, are decreasing as far as that, and that's across the country. Especially obviously with the COVID crisis that just recently happened. Things, it's going to take some time for us to get back to normal, but I think it could happen, and I see things changing and things coming up. So
I do too. When it comes down to you were talking about with the COVID, I really feel like COVID actually changed us in the bad but the good.
Right.
We found new ways to communicate with each other, and that I think was huge in COVID. It shut everything down. It made everybody. You had to figure out yourself
Correct. You had to learn to survive.
Right.
Everyone, where in life could you imagine? I mean, it hasn't been, I think, was it the Spanish flu since the last time we had something like that took place where you had to learn how to survive under this pandemic. I know teachers that were senior teachers had to learn how to use things such as Google Classroom. If you weren't technical savvy, it was definitely a challenge for you. So it taught all of us how to be resilient.
Yeah, definitely. What part of education do you feel you see students need to implement now in our education system?
Again, like just technology, everything is put on the computer. So just learning how to navigate and just learning different resources. I'm coming from a special education background, so my viewpoint on things might be a little different than, say, a general education teacher. So I'm just giving you the experiences from my end as a special ed teacher. So I think, the way education is now, it actually provides a lot of it bridges the gap with everything being on technology, where we provide all these accommodations, where I see my students making great gains because of the resources that are provided through computers and technology.
Mm, mm. Fill in this blank. The hardest thing about being an educator is.
Whew, that's a tough one. The hardest thing about being an educator is my heart. For me, like I care a lot because I'm a proud alumni of the Harrisburg School District.
Right.
Class of 2006, the greatest class to ever come out of Harrisburg High School.
I know that. Stand up.
So with me, I care a lot, and so when you see students or just people that you might know their family not reaching the expectation that they could make, and it's like, come on, man, do it. We've been down this road before. We've seen this story time and time again. I know you can do it and be great, and them not reaching their full expectations. So some of the things that are disheartening to me.
I know that's right. You're a part of a fraternity.
Yes, sir.
That fraternity is
the greatest fraternity in the world, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
All right.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the bros.
There you go. How does your fraternity brotherhood impact the way you teach?
It does because we have cardinal principles, and one of our cardinal principles is scholarship. We have 4: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. And scholarship is key because it's just not, receiving a scholarship, but it's just educating those around you, and even myself, being a student every day, because I believe that everyone can learn from each other, whether it's a student teaching me something or me learning how to humble myself and bring myself down to meet my students at their level, and all that it comes together. The biggest thing is community, man, and we pride ourselves on our work in the community. I'm the social action chair for my fraternity. We do a lot of work in the community, and that's something that I love to do. Being from Harrisburg, uplifting my community in education, fraternity, everything. Those are some of the things that my fraternity has helped me be great at.
Y'all here already. It's an uplifting brother. I told y'all this was going to be a good one.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to give y'all a little few moments. We'll let that marinate. And we'll be back on Rise Above in about 15 seconds. We're back on Rise Above right here. I told you, I got my man, Don Commodore here, and I'm telling you right now, this is a good one. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this going. Who is the best teacher you ever had and why?
Oh, wow. I have a few. I do. I really have a few that really have been there for me over my time. I would definitely say my wrestling coach, who was also my woodshop teacher, Jesse Ross Sr., because he taught me a lot of things. Actually, just how to work hard, how to persevere, and how to overcome. I struggled in high school academically, and that came from just some of the struggles that I had at home. Um, you know, Trying to find my way as a young black man in the world, without my father being around. So I struggled with that and not being able to receive love that he was trying to show me.
Right.
And that's hard. So if you've never been properly loved as a child, you don't know when someone is trying to love you and hold you accountable, and just trying to be there for you. So I appreciate that, Coach, and thank you. I tell him all the time. So he was one of my favorite teachers as well. Um, Miss Kreshak, she was really good for me. She taught English. She teaches at the high school. She was really good as far as helping me prepare for college and in the college application process. Without her, I probably wouldn't went to college. So she was definitely like one of my greatest teachers ever. Um, I've had some great ones. Dr. A. She was my social studies teacher when I was at Roland. There's so many. I
So
think the
many.
list
I
won't
see.
go
I
away.
can hear.
I know the last one, but Leon Wilkerson. He was one of them because he was one of my teachers at Roland. He was my frat brother, so he was a good
So
one.
listening to all those teachers, can we just say all those teachers influenced you to become a teacher?
Yes, I definitely would say I practice or I pattern my teaching style after them. One that is of loving, caring, and showing the students that you do care and building relationships. I'm big on relationships because one of my favorite quotes, and not to ramble or go off, is that kids don't care how much you know, so they know how much you care. And I believe that's the one reason why I find myself having success and we're able to break down barriers because first I build relationships with my students. A lot of times students already have these walls up, so they don't want to even let you know what's going on in their life because they think that you're not even approachable. But once I let the students know, like, listen, I know what it's like. I was raised by my grandmother. I grew up uptown. I lived in Hall Manor for a little bit. I know winters without heat. I've been on food stamps. I understand. And break that wall down, and they're like, whoa, coach is just like me.
Yeah, rapport's huge.
It's huge.
Rapport's huge with a child.
It's
If you
huge.
can relate, that's huge. It's huge
Definitely
with
is.
a child. All right, so let's go here. What if what do you do with a student that is not interested in your class?
That's not interested in my class.
Mhm.
We have to find something in common. You know,
There you go.
you got to find something in common with the student as far as letting them know whether it's math, find out how you can relate to math. I know some of my students like football, so there's different ways. There's math in football, stats.
As long as they're not talking about your trash Redskins team.
How many losses y'all have?
One.
To who?
Oh, you guys are weak.
That's all right. I just want you to
Hey,
know
but
that.
guess what? Did we beat you guys?
You did,
All
but
right, then we're even.
and the way the NFL works is, what have you done for me lately?
Right, and what we've done lately, 11-1.
Yeah, like I said, before I was really interrupted with the foolishness. But yeah, I find things to make it relatable to their life.
Right.
Sometimes students they might not understand you know poetry, but that's song.
Right.
One of the greatest poets of all time. Tupac. But what? That's melodies, flows. Like,
Right.
what are you talking about? That's wow. And then once they start writing, before you know it,
They understand it.
well, they're writing.
Right.
Paragraphs, and next thing you know, they're writing short stories, and we're
Everything.
going deeper and deeper. Yep.
Right. It gets deeper, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You can unlock the mind.
Correct.
Well, you already told me. So the aspect it seems like that you seem like you really stand out is because it's your reports. What you like to touch the heart of a child.
Yeah, I mean,
the
definitely,
mind.
definitely, because that's what happened. To me, like, I never thought I would be where I'm at right now. I'm a product of the true statement, as the old heads would say, it takes a village to raise a child. So, because of what people have poured into my life, I am who I am today, and I wouldn't be able to make it without the people that poured into me, not only in high school but even in college, because the pouring didn't stop once I went off to college. So I'm grateful for everyone.
Let's go here. What is your most rewarding thing about being an educator?
It's just seeing the progress of the students on a daily basis. Every day, because like I said, I work in special education, and just seeing students knock down barriers. Sometimes students are afraid to be great.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and that's scary at times.
It is, but that's where you break the chains and knock down walls and cycles. And just being an example and letting them know, like, listen, I too struggled in school,
Right.
and you can do it. And it's not, like I said, it's not all about me, but it's like allowing them to understand that. And some people don't like to uh, celebrate victories, small victories, but to you it might be small, but to them it could be everything.
I would agree. I would so agree. Here, I'm gonna hit you with a tough question here. Why don't you think there's as many black male teachers?
I would say, one, there's a stigma out there that teachers don't get paid a lot of money. So a lot of people in general, I know you said black male, but people in general are going away from the education field. So if the enrollment of teachers on a yearly basis at the college level is low, that means overall there's not going to be as many black, white, as many teachers as well.
Right.
But you know, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. But I do know one thing with the lack of teachers that they are and the shortage in what they had to, like, I guess, emergency certify some teachers and things like that. There has been an increase in African American teachers recently.
I would agree.
So that's a good thing. In every uh, trial or test, you gotta look at the blessing.
Mm-hmm.
One person I saw post on Facebook, like, hey, I think it was Angel Green. She said this, like, hey, man, one of the good things about this is, like, the shortage of teachers is allowing people who really truly want to be in the schools an opportunity to get in the door, where there were so many obstacles, so many credentials you have to have. Now, you know, like, I know one of my young boys, Treyo Seegers, he's at Roland. He's doing a great job. Carrington Washington, he's assistant coach on my team. He's African American. So the list goes on.
Yeah, I know that's right.
But I know, like I said, when I was in school, I saw a lot of black men. Like I said, Jesse Rawls, Eugene Spells, you know, Mr. Bate,
Well,
Mr.
yeah.
Thompson.
Right,
the
right.
list goes on. Gary Fallins.
Yep.
The list goes on. So hopefully we can get more out there. But I know I'm pushing that. I have a couple kids in college now that are wrestlers of mine, and they want to be teachers. So
That's good.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good. We need them. Let's go down to your downtime. What do you do in your downtime?
In my downtime, I really just enjoy spending time with my kids.
There you go.
I love my kids. I love being a father. That's one of the greatest things that I have ever done in my life.
That is. It's the most rewarding thing. I think it's the blessing.
Yeah.
It's the biggest blessing you could ever get into being a father.
Yes. I love my kids, Bryce and DJ. They're 4 and 8 years old. DJ's active in sports. He plays football and he wrestles. And we're bringing him up into sports coming up this year. So I'm just happy about that, man. Just being a part of my kids' life.
There it is. There it is. Going for Father of the Year, y'all. He's going for Father of the Year. But right now, I'm gonna let that smooth that conversation out. We're gonna ride that out into the sunset. You already know what it is. We're on Rise Above. We'll be back in a moment.
Yes,
right
sir.
after this.
Wrong direction lovers, loving like no other. Hurts so bad, but I can't get enough. Two off track, but we feel like a glove. Well, wrong direction lovers, what can we recover? Not sure I can suffer another. Wrong direction lovers.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready, Doug.
All right, let's get it. We're back. We're back on Rise Above. I got my man Dom back here on the set. You know what it is. He's giving us great insight about education and all that about the youth and all. Let's get into the serious questions though right now. Once again, we're talking about black male teachers, and we're saying, why don't we think they're not really in high demand? But you've actually flipped it. And so they actually are in demand, because now you're looking at the focuses. They're focusing more on the kids.
Right.
And they're focusing more on the need of the kid, but now just not seeing that if the kid has a person that's like him and it can relate to him, he will learn from him and he will prosper from him. Am I correct?
Yes, you could say that. Yes.
So that's where we're going down.
Correct.
All right. So my question to you is, and what's lacking in the education system?
I mean, you answered the question already. Like, I would say, we need more teachers of color in the schools that are in the urban setting, ones that can relate. Not saying that other teachers can't get the job done, but it's hard for a teacher to maybe understand and relate to the student if they never experience anything of the hardships that they have been through. And not necessarily saying that every black teacher is poor, every black teacher didn't grow up in the projects, every black teacher didn't come from a single parent home.
Right.
But they have that experience because they might have a cousin or they've been around it, so they can relate to the student.
Right. Agreed.
And like I said, there has been some successful Caucasian teachers that have made a great impact on my life.
I would agree.
So But I know in this time of day that we're in right now, we definitely need people that look like the students so that they can relate, to them. Like I said, relationships and relating and understanding where a student comes from. Because how can you tell me, where we're going if you don't know where you come from? That's
Right,
one of the biggest
right,
things. You
right.
gotta know about, the past and understand them so you can help lead them.
I agree with that. How do you as a male teacher feel that you can become just as effective as a female teacher in a predominantly female setting when it comes down to it?
The biggest thing is understanding, and having relationships and not respect of person, meaning, you respect everyone. Equity is key.
There you go. There you go.
Equity is key, and understanding what equity is. Also, love is love, and I know that I was raised by a woman, so I'm going to treat them with the utmost respect because I would want someone to treat my mother, my sister, my family the same way.
Right.
So knowing that and understanding that in the workplace, everyone is equal.
There you go. There you go. That's enough. That's enough said, y'all. I don't know about that, but that's enough said. There's a rise in school shootings in the past few years.
Mhm.
How can you as a teacher make me as a parent feel safe that my child is in your care?
For one, just understanding and explaining to parents that there are safety measures put in place at our schools, and knowing that we stick to them, and understanding again, knowing signs of what's triggering students. It comes back to rapport and relationships. If you, I can tell when a student is off, meaning like not having a good day. So if you can tell when a student is off, that might trigger something down the road. And like, hey, what's up, buddy? I see that you're a little off today. You need to talk. You need to go for a walk. There's something wrong. We can talk, and that might help because if students, I think, cause mass shootings, are going through some things. But if someone dropped the ball, maybe didn't talk to them, didn't build a relationship with them, that might have stopped some of those things in the past. I'm not saying that it would or wouldn't, but it doesn't hurt to help to talk to someone and help them. Same thing with like students that have depression. All those things, it's like systematic. It all ripples downhill. And if a student is having these issues, if you can talk to them, if you can build relationships with them, that might turn them from going, the other way. But just understanding and explaining to the families that security measures are in place, and that I want to go home, and that I have children that are in school as well. So I'm going to protect your child as best as I can because I want my student and my son's teacher to do the same thing for them.
There it is. There it is. Let that marinate, guys. We're gonna let that one's smooth. We'll be back on Rise Above in one moment. Hey, if you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, hit me up at the number one skybox at gmail.com. I will read and I will respond to every question, thought, or concern. And I may even put one or two questions on the next episode. And also remember, be good to yourself, y'all. All right, we're back on Rise Above. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all. It's the pod deck, y'all. I got it here. I brought out the pod deck, y'all. You already know what it is. I'm gonna ask. Pod deck is on shuffle. He got to pick out two questions. He picks out two questions. And he tells y'all the answer. And we go from there, y'all. Know the drill. Boom. Number one, he got one number one, ladies and gentlemen. And he switched out on number two. All right. What is question number one?
Brag to me about the best things going on in the past 30 days.
Go ahead.
And this is just about myself personally.
About yourself personally.
And well, one good thing, my birthday just passed.
There you go. Happy belated.
Thank you. November 20th. Shout out to all the Scorpios. And I had a great time. My beautiful girlfriend, Alicia Perry, aka the Cupcake Lady. Shout out to the Cupcake Lady.
Shout out to the
I had
Cupcake
to
Lady.
give a plug out there for her. She just showed me a good time on her birthday. Showed me a real good time. So that was really dope. I had a good time, and I just appreciate it. That's all. So
There you go.
so that was real exciting. That's
Number two.
I'm bragging about you. Which living person do you most admire? This is dope because I would say I admire my grandmother because she's courageous, and we talked about women and coworkers, things like that. Um, I appreciate her because without my grandmother, I wouldn't be who I am today. And she stood up and raised me when no one would, when people dropped the ball. So I appreciate you, Ma. I call her Ma because she raised me. So I admire her the most just for her courage and stepping up when no one would. So I appreciate you, Mana, and thank you. Not oftentimes we get a chance to tell our families thank you until they're in the casket, but I'll always like to give her flowers.
There you go.
I am who I am because of you. So I love you and appreciate you.
There it is. There it is. How can they contact?
Well, you can find me on all the social media platforms. On Facebook at Commodore Dom. You can also find me on Instagram. Same thing, Commodore.Dom. And just follow me. Follow along. I post a lot, mostly just about my kids and my wrestling team. As I stated, I am the head wrestling coach for Harrisburg High. So please, if you get a chance to come out to some of our matches, our schedule is posted online. Check us out. We're going to have a young team, but we're scrappy and ready to rock. So also, if you have any questions, you're looking for some mentors or just looking to get your kids involved in anything in the community, please reach out. Or if you know anything, any ways that we can help, just please reach out, and I'll gladly reach back and connect with you.
It is. You got any shout outs, my guy?
Yeah, I want to again shout out to the greatest fraternity in the world, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm also want to shout out, like I said, to my wrestling team, the Harrisburg Cougars. And let's go Cougars this weekend, the football team.
Definitely. State championship on the line, baby. You already know what it is. Go out and support. You know what it is. 717, stand up. Nico, you already know what it is. Noel, my love, you already know what it is. But I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you like this episode, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at #1 at gmail.com with your thoughts, questions, or concerns. I would love for you to hear what's going on and what has been popping. And I would like for you to tell me, who would you like to see here on the show? And I'd like to thank my man Dom for coming on the show for all the insight when it came down to education and the power of the youth and a lot more. My name is Michael C., the source of life, over the mic. And also remember, be good to yourself, y'all.